Most people say they want growth, but what they truly want is growth without exposure, growth without looking foolish, growth without being wrong in public. And that desire quietly creates a life that stays small. Benjamin Franklin compresses a complete psychology of growth into 3 lines. Do not fear mistakes. You will know failure. Continue to reach out. This is not a quote about optimism. It's a quote about psychological stamina. It teaches you how to stay engaged with life when your ego wants to hide. Because the real danger is not making mistakes. The real danger is building an identity that cannot survive mistakes. And once you have that identity, you will avoid the very actions that could change your life. Today we'll go deep into what these 3 lines mean. In the nervous system, in the mind, and in relationships. Not to feel inspired, but to see your patterns clearly enough to stop repeating them. Do not fear mistakes sounds simple until you realize what mistakes threaten. Mistakes threaten status. Mistakes threaten belonging. Mistakes threaten the image of being competent, being good, being someone who has it together. Psychologically, the fear of mistakes is rarely about the outcome. It's about exposure. It's the moment you feel seen as imperfect. And for many people, imperfection is not merely uncomfortable, it feels unsafe. Because somewhere early on, being wrong was paired with punishment, humiliation, or withdrawal of love. So the mind develops a strategy. Avoid mistakes by avoiding attempts. Avoid attempts by delaying. Delay by overthinking. Overthinking by collecting more information. And the tragic part is, it can look like responsibility, but it is actually fear wearing a professional mask. Franklin is not saying mistakes don't matter. He's saying, if you fear mistakes, you will not live a learning life. You will live a performance life. And performance eventually collapses under pressure because the world is too complex to control. A mistake is not only an error. A mistake is contact with reality. If you never make mistakes, it usually means one of 2 things. You are not attempting anything difficult, or you are hiding the evidence of your attempts. Mistakes are how reality corrects fantasy. They puncture the story that you can stay safe and still become powerful. They expose the gap between intention and execution. And that gap is not shameful. That gap is the exact location of growth. This is why fear of mistakes is so costly. It cuts you off from reality. And being cut off from reality is the most fragile state a human can live in, because you can't adjust to what you refuse to see. Franklin's first line is therefore not moral advice. It's a survival instruction for mastery. Do not fear mistakes, because mistakes are the price of adaptation. The second line is blunt. You will know failure. Not you might. You will. This is psychological honesty. It removes the fantasy that a good life is a life without loss, and it replaces that fantasy with something more resilient. Acceptance. Failure is unavoidable because life is probabilistic. You can do many things right and still lose. You can work hard and still face bad timing. You can love well and still be left. You can prepare and still be surprised. So if your identity is built on never failing, you are building your identity on a lie. And the mind will spend enormous energy defending that lie through avoidance, control, and blame. Franklin cuts through it. You will know failure, which means stop negotiating with reality. Start building a self that can hold reality. Failure itself is an event, but the mind often turns it into a verdict. I failed becomes I am a failure. A temporary result becomes a permanent identity. This is where suffering deepens, not because the failure is bigger, but because the self-story becomes smaller. When failure becomes identity, it triggers shame. And shame does not push you toward correction. Shame pushes you toward hiding. This is why people sometimes repeat the same failures. Not because they don't understand what to do, but because shame makes them avoid the very feedback that could change them. Franklin's second line is a warning. You will know failure. So decide now what failure will mean. Will it be information, or will it be a sentence against your worth? Now the final line, continue to reach out. This is the antidote to what failure often creates, isolation. When people experience failure, the nervous system often goes into threat mode, and the social brain interprets threat as hide. Because being seen while imperfect feels dangerous. But isolation is where shame grows strongest. It creates a closed loop, pain, rumination, self-attack, withdrawal, then more pain. Reach out breaks the loop. It restores reality through connection. It gives the nervous system co-regulation, the stabilizing effect of being with a safe person, a safe space, a safe community. And notice the word continue. This implies consistency, not reaching out once when you feel brave, but keeping contact with life, even when you feel small. Reach out is also more than social connection. It is engagement. It is the decision to keep extending yourself toward the world, because fear and shame have one shared goal: contraction. They shrink your behavior. They shrink your options. They shrink your future. To reach out is to refuse contraction. It is to keep making contact with opportunity even while you are unsure. It is the willingness to be a beginner again, not once, but repeatedly. This is how mastery is built. Not through certainty, but through repeated contact with uncertainty. The quote quietly teaches you that the courageous life is not the life without fear. It is the life that keeps moving while fear is present. A mature response to failure has three qualities. First, it is honest. It doesn't deny what happened. It doesn't rewrite reality to protect the ego. Second, it is compassionate without being indulgent. Self-compassion is not self-excuse. It is the ability to stay respectful toward yourself while you correct your course. Third, it is forward-facing. It does not stay trapped in explanation. It moves into adjustment. This is where Franklin's three lines become one system. Don't fear mistakes. Stay teachable. You will know failure. Stay humble and realistic. Continue to reach out. Stay connected and engaged. When those three are present, failure stops being an end. It becomes a turning point. Let's close by hearing the quote as a life philosophy, slowly. Do not fear mistakes, because mistakes are the entry fee to growth. you will know failure. Because life does not reward control, it rewards adaptation. Continue to reach out, because your future expands through engagement and collapses through isolation. If you remember nothing else, remember this. A small life is usually not created by lack of talent. It is created by fear of being seen imperfectly. So keep reaching out to people, to opportunities, to the next attempt, to the next version of you. If this message met you at the right time, share it with someone who's afraid to try again. And if you want, leave a comment. The mistake I'm no longer afraid of is